Flight 1982 to San Francisco had just settled into cruising altitude when it happened. Two babies, twins, started wailing. Not that gentle. Tired baby fussing you sometimes hear on planes, but a pair of 6-month-old lungs hitting full siren mode, echoing off the cabin walls, cutting through the chatter and clinking glasses like a fire alarm nobody could turn off. In the middle of it all sat Richard Blackwood, tech billionaire, inventor, suddenly a single dad with dark circles under his eyes, clutching Lucas and Lily like lifelines, looking like he hadn't slept since the twins were born. He tried everything. You could see it: formula, diapers, rocking, walking the aisles, desperate for a fix. Money had bought him a first-class seat, but nothing could buy peace from those cries. Sympathy turned to glares in about 5 minutes. Even the flight attendants were out of ideas. As turbulence kicked up and the plane rocked, an attendant called him back to his seat. Richard turned, exhausted, and that's when he spotted Hera's small girl in economy, maybe 7, with copper hair and green eyes that looked too old for her face, watching him with an odd intensity. He asked where her parents were. The girl just shrugged, then stood. They're crying because they missed their mama's song. That froze him in place. What did you say? He whispered. She looked straight at him. I know the song their mama sang, about starlight and angels. Richard went pale. Nobody but his late wife knew that song. The girl reached out for baby Lily, and before he could object, began singing in a voice that cut right through the noise. Instantly, the twins quieted, their eyes fixed on her. Richard almost fell into a seat. That lullaby was something Vanessa had made up. She never sang it except to the babies. She sang it to me too. The girl insisted. Who are you? He demanded, voice shaking. Emma Bennett. I don't know where my parents are. The lady from Child Services was taking me to a new foster home, but she got sick. In the bathroom, a flight attendant showed up, concern written all over her face. Richard blurted out, this child is traveling alone, and she knows things about my wife she can't possibly know. Emma, voice quiet, said, your wife, who disappeared last month. Mrs. Vanessa Blackwood. You could feel the cabin freeze. Every passenger staring. Emma's eyes welled up. Because she saved me, and now I think she's in trouble. That's how Richard, with twins in tow, ended up in an airport security office in Denver, bombarded by reporters and detectives, social workers and gawkers. I told you everything, he said to the detective. Vanessa disappeared 4 weeks ago. No warning, no note, security footage, then her car abandoned at Golden Gate Park. The detective eyed Emma. You've never seen this child before? Richard shook his head, but she knows Vanessa's lullaby word for word. The social worker explained that Emma had been found 3 days earlier at a gas station outside Reno. No ID, just her name, headed to a foster family in San Francisco. When Richard got 5 minutes alone with Emma, he asked her again how she knew the song. She sang it to me at the cabin, in the woods, by a lake, with a big rock shaped like a turtle. She said bad men were coming, gave me money for food, told me to find help. Richard's heart thudded. Vanessa had a family cabin near Lake Tahoe, sold years ago. Then his phone rang, an unknown number, and a whisper he'd know anywhere. Trust Drake. The formula works too well. They'll do anything. Then the line died. Detective Morgan broke the silence with a bombshell. Emma Bennett died in a house fire with her parents 2 years ago, according to Sacramento records. Richard took Emma home, convincing the authorities with wealth and influence to let her stay. Supervised. Emma barely spoke, always studying family photos. When pressed, she finally told Richard, my real name's Emma Winters. My daddy worked with your wife. He died in the lab explosion last year. It wasn't an accident. They wanted his research. I have an eidetic memory. Daddy called it. The men after us wanted what I saw. Suddenly, everything fit. Vanessa's missing formula, the fire, Emma's escape. A text Pinjet satellite house. Vault code. Twins' birthday. The cabin. Emma whispered. Richard packed the twins. Emma. And raced to Tahoe. The cabin was quiet. But inside, photos of the twins. A journal. A flash drive. And a letter from Vanessa. Trust Emma. She's the backup. Drake and his men planned to weaponize Nymacynth memory drug. It can enhance, but now it can erase. Witnesses, soldiers, political revulse, no memory, no evidence. The formula exists only in my notes and Emma's mind. Just then, Drake himself appeared, gun in hand, demanding the drive in Emma. But the FBI, tipped by Vanessa, closed in. Drake was arrested. The twins and Emma's safe, but Vanessa's still missing. DNA tests in Berkeley confirmed the final twist. Emma was Richard's daughter, taken at birth, hidden under a new name for illegal research. Vanessa had discovered the truth, planned everything, and left a trail of clues for Richard and Emma to follow. When Farmac moved Vanessa to Singapore for a final demonstration, Richard, Emma, Detective Morgan, and Vanessa's research partner Dr. Chun plotted a rescue. Emma, now the living key to the antidote, snuck into the facility, unlocked the lab, and administered Vanessa's own memory shield just as the erasure procedure began. With alarms blaring and Morgan leading local police in, the Blackwoods escaped. Evidence transmitted worldwide. Drake and his accomplices faced charges across continents. In the weeks that followed, Richard, Vanessa, the twins, and Emma's miracle daughter slowly rebuilt their family. The Blackwood house, once cold and quiet, filled with laughter, toys, and bedtime stories. Sometimes, Emma would ask how it all happened, and Richard would tell her, "We remembered what mattered, and that brought us home." If this story moved you, let us know where you're watching from. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about hope, courage, and the kind of family you fight for no matter what.